One of my favorite guests is joining me right now, and actually we're going to talk about, kind of relates to this story I'm about to tell you regarding Spotify. It is hiking its prices by about 4% on the price hikes, I should say, and the stock is up about 4%. But if you notice, that's beginning to be a trend with some companies that are responding to the inflationary pressure and passing along price increases, but has its limits with, some of the fast food guys, McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King. All of them are pushing value meals, even in the face of overall prices that are a lot higher than they were. Zane Tankel is the Apple Metro chairman and CEO. Sold a big chunk of those restaurants, made a boatload of money. But Zane's here to tell us what it's like to have a boatload of money. No, not really. But what do you think, first off, of what's happening in your industry, the restaurant industry, how some are responding and some, like Red Lobster, are filing for bankruptcy, others can barely get customers at all? Where are we on this?
I can name you 2 or 3 others of the size and scope of Red Lobster that are on the verge, rumored to be next, or what have you. So it's a dichotomy. There are the unicorns that are still doing really well. I choose not to give them free advertising and mention them.
All right.
And then there's the bulk of the space, which is struggling. And it's struggling because costs are going up, core costs, food, delivery.
And you can only pass so much along.
Well, they've passed it, and there was an overhang on the COVID money. We keep talking COVID money,
sure,
but you run out of COVID money. But for a longest time, there was that overhang, Neil. And now, I've just recently saw where consumer debt is rising to new heights. Defaults on consumer debts are up about 8%, if I read the article correctly. So they're getting to the end of the cycle, if you will. So what happens in our space? They got to get more creative. They got to think of ways, the barbell system, get the guest in and then sell around, not discounting. They're not discounting. Discounts.
Well, what do you call McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's over these $5 value meals or less? I mean, obviously, I would assume they're loss leaders, so they can't go on indefinitely.
Sure, they can't, but they can sell a Coke, if it's Coke or Pepsi,
right?
And that's, I think, $1.99.
Well, how did you do it at Apple? I mean, what did you do, depending on the restaurant?
We would run programs, so Dollarita. $1 for a margarita.
Okay.
Dollarita.
I see what you did there.
Right? You got it.
Right.
You can't drink too many Dollaritas without asking for a hamburger to make you be able to drive home.
I see.
You got to drive home. So we'd get them in barbells. You'd get them in with the value loss leader, although even on an alcohol dollar, you'd be all
But there's a limit, right? Now, I know
McDonald's
CEO, recoil at this idea that a Big Mac meal was $18. That was in Darien, Connecticut. It was a standoff of the franchise operations, so the franchisees decide that.
Yeah.
But what did you think of that argument?
I thought they're abandoning fast food, quick serve, more and more.
Yeah.
And ironically, going to casual dining, which we were the ones that always
Another step up.
So what's he doing? He's trying to justify, rationalize. What happened to the dollar menu? It's $5, but you don't see. Remember the dollar menu deal? It wasn't before the Second World War, if I recall correctly.
It was just the second of the prior month.
Right.
So where are we going with this? And Americans, you're right, they are sort of deciding where to spend their money. But I hate to use the term, as I'm sure you do, this bifurcation. They talk about, the well-to-do, still go out and eat out and do that, but the rest are maybe giving up. What do you think?
Well, as you well know, there's 3 parts to the restaurant space. Fine dining, can't get in a good restaurant. Right, that's the bite view. Sorry for using that word you don't want to use.
Me too, yeah.
The buy word. And that could be wrong too, but that word. There's fine dining, then there's casual dining, and then there's quick serve. So they're abandoning quick serve. Quick serve's trying to get into creative ways to bring them in, $5 menus, but so they're competing with the casual dining space, our space, and we're trying to get very creative and put value, i.e. free delivery, i.e. 2 for $20. And then somebody else, we won't name him, comes up with 3 for $20. And it's...
But when you sold all the restaurants, so how many did you sell? 20?
I sold 23.
Why? Did you say this is really hard for me to continue making money this way?
No, it had nothing to do with it. In fact, I spent a full year trying to get introspective and saying, can I do this?
But you weren't saying there's a limit how much higher?
Not at all. That wasn't it at all.
Okay.
It was a strategic acquisition. It wasn't just a sale. I was not in the market to sell, and I was literally chased for about a year by the buyer, and the buyer ultimately
Well, you run your restaurants very well and did then, and I know you're all about treating your people well, but those people are expensive. No, not to besmirch them. I mean, and that's a problem. I mean, finding the right people, paying them in some states like California, where the demands are such, $20 at a minimum an hour, even more. There's a limit to how much you can make.
100%,
right?
100%. On the other hand, if you don't do that, you get second-grade people, and second-grade people, right? They drive the consumer away. So your margins are going to shrink.
Well, how were those people after you sold? You were their nirvana, and all of a sudden nirvana disappeared.
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, I picked this, I accepted this because most of the principles that we had, the buyer had, number one, number two, it was an adjustment. I mean, I got calls literally every day from maybe hundreds of people, because we had thousands from hundreds, this is whatever. But I think they're all
Did you
now
read
adjusted.
into that? I don't want it for any trouble on your part, but that
You already
I don't
started.
want to
You already started that,
I know,
but that's
right?
okay.
I don't want to be another Red Lobster. I don't want to be
Right.
a bankruptcy.
Did I think of that? I thought of that every day that I was in this business for 30 years, because I came from there. You know, I came from nothing and came to something, and I never wanted to go back to nothing. So you're always sort of running for your life, if you will, because today it snows and we have no business, and we had a $2 million a week payroll. And we had another $1 million a week of food costs. So those don't change, whether it snows, rains, or storms. So I always felt I was running from my life. But I didn't sell because I wanted to. I sold because it was a strategic acquisition.
Well, Tony Fauci is being grilled on Capitol Hill. A lot of people criticizing how he shut down the economy. It wasn't only him and all that stuff. You know how this goes.
Yep.
But looking back at that, could we have handled that better for your industry, for everyone else?
Honestly, I don't think so. You know, everybody's a second guesser. People were dying left and right. I remember driving down the west side and seeing those tractor trailers, refrigerated with bodies in them, and the morgues were full. So it's really easy 2 years later to say, oh, we did the wrong thing. When they were dying, it was very much the right thing. I lost some people that died.
Wow.
Yes, not many, fortunately, 2 out of about 5,000.
But we forget the time in the environment this was going on.
Exactly. The further you
Good
get
point.
from any emotional event, the less important it becomes, any death. So easy to second guess Fauci, I suspect. But what were you going to do? He was in the war at the time.
Very good point. Very good point. Zane Tankel, congratulations again
Thanks,
on this.
Neil,
You're
thanks.
getting friends left and right, and all of a sudden now how wealthy you are, right?
Yes.
Hit you left far alone, yeah.
From all over the world.
Zane Tankel, one of the best on this industry, and remembers where he came from, remembers his roots.